Okay, back on the trailer project. I had to spend some time cleaning my weld table off because I actually want to use it, and I haven't seen it in probably 10 years. So the next thing I'm going to do is I got burrs on the edges from the sawing process, and I need to remove all of the burrs so I can make a nice tight corner, and then we'll try to weld this frame up into a rectangular shape. I bought these strong hand style clamps. They're Hobart brand from a local store. So I'm going to see how they work. I'm just going to clamp it to the table and then take my flap wheel and deburr it. Okay, I put the first subsection aside, and now I'm going to take the other two pieces and join those in a 45-degree beveled, 90-degree joint. And then after I have two halves, then I'll try to connect the two halves and make a rectangular frame out of it, and then I'll check it for square. I want to get everything tacked before I finish weld anything. Okay, I gotta catch you guys up. I had a visitor, actually the owner of the trailer came by, and I had the two, I guess, subsections of the gate welded, or tacked up I should say. And so then I laid them on the floor and we squared it up and tacked the rest of it, so the basic rectangle is tacked. Now I'm looking at the spacing for the three intermediate supports. We measured the wheelbase of the tractor, or my tractor. I'm guessing that his is going to be similar, and the wheels were 16.5 on center. Ideally, I would like to put supports, you know, where the wheels would be, so that when you drive up you have maximum support. However, that would not be conducive to having them evenly spaced. If I evenly space them, which is roughly what you see here, just have them laying on the floor, just kind of generally where they might land, and the wheels are going to end up right between the supports. So I talked to the owner and he decided he'd rather have it this way than something else. So we're going to try it like that, and we can always add more structure if necessary, but we're going to try it. It's actually the worst case. Uh-oh, my light went off. Actually the worst case scenario for loading a tractor, but we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I want to cut. These are the pieces that I screwed up in the last video. These were supposed to be the bottom pieces, but I cut them way too small because I made a mistake when I measured, and instead of 5'3", I cut them at 53. This is just a cut off piece which is too short. So these pieces I'm going to trim to the right length, and then this piece is just, I had it laying around, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to cut a new piece off the remaining steel I have over here. So right now I need to get a dimension how long these pieces are going to have to be. And it looks like 46 3/4, or just a little bit less. Actually, I think 46 3/4 would be just fine. Or just a hair longer, maybe. Alright, now I'll cut the pieces. Alright, I got the chop saw. I've tried to get it on the most level moss I could find. Yeehaw! Okay. Flip that and pull that one back. Alright, I'm going to cut the end off the... I don't need the 45-degree angles anymore, so I'm going to cut those off, and then I'll measure it to length and cut it. Alright, I think I got it. Okay, I got my pieces cut. I cut the first piece. It was just a smidgen too long. And you cannot take a smidgen off on the thing. You have to almost take a full blade width, or it'll deflect and kind of shoot off to the side and won't cut anything. So it's slightly shorter than what would be optimal. There's a gap on that end. A little bit of a gap on that end, so this will test my skill as far as filling a gap. I'm going to have to fill it in with weld. Problem is my skills are 0. So stay tuned for future developments. Next thing I'm going to have to do is figure out the spacing. There's going to be one exactly centered in the middle of the rectangle, and then the other two will be centered in the halves, so it'll be basically broken up into quarters essentially. So I'm going to lay that out right now. Okay, let's see what the overall wideness is. The overall inside wideness is 60 3/4. So half of that is 30 3/8. So 30 3/8 to the center would be, can you see this? Hello? No, you cannot see it. I don't know, maybe you can. 30 3/8, I'm going to stick it right through there. Oh, yeah, now we're talking, maybe not. So 30 3/8, you know. But now I'm going to subtract 3/4, that'll give me where the edge of the tubing is. So that would be, like right there maybe. And then if I go over here 3/4, that would be right there maybe. Now is that 1.5 inches between those marks? Yes. So between these two marks is where I will put the tubing. Okay, I'll do the same thing on this side. The overall dimension, 60 3/4. So I want the center of my pipe to be 30 3/8, which would mean I want the left edge to be a 29 5/8 and the right edge to be 31 1/8, and then I will center my tubing between those points, and it will be centered in exactly the proper location, like such. Thank you for your concern. Okay, I split the difference and tacked that one in. So now I just have to figure this one out, which should be very similar to that one, and tack that one in. Alright, I got all the pieces tacked together. I flipped it over and tacked the back side. If you've ever seen those shows like American Chopper, that's all you're ever going to see them do.